So, if you can see now, I have already started my Windows Explorer. I am in the path of my PC, in the C drive, in the program file x86, and in the folder ivisc. So, depending on the place where you are checking the ivisc, it may be that you have visited the customer. Indeed, instead of that, you would take the customer's PC for the test. If the customer has sent the ivisc into your workshop, you will use your own one. So you have to install the ivisc software before you connect the cable from the PC to the ivisc. So this is very important. If you have a brand new ivisc, you will find a sticker which is above the connector of the USB port on the ivisc that will recommend that you first have to install the software on the computer and then connect the cable. So in our case, we have already connected the ivisc to my computer. So the basic setting is now to find out if there is communication between the connected ivisc and the software. That's why I copied the icon of the ivisc software directly into this folder so that we can directly start from the Windows Explorer. So I will now start the ivisc software, and normally we should see that there is no communication. You can see that very easily by the red dot which is shown on the software. So I now will move that screen a little bit to the side so that we can see my picture a little bit better on the screen. So what could be the reason now for no communication? Of course, there could be a damage of the board inside the ivisc. There could be a breakage of the connection cable. But first of all, and that is very important, you have to know that the Lauda ivisc is a USB device, and USB devices need to have a serial number which is controlled by the software. And if you can see there, the software is expecting a Lauda ivisc with the serial number which is shown there. So now you could compare that with the sticker on the back of the ivisc, but there is also another trick where you easily can see what serial number has our connected ivisc. So I close this software now, and that's why I have already opened the program manager. You can see there there is a small software included inside our ivisc folder which is called updater.exe. With this updater.exe, normally you can upgrade the firmware inside the ivisc, but this is also a helpful tool. If we start that, we can see the serial number of the connected ivisc. So I do so. The system is now asking me if I allow to open that software. Yes, I have administrator rights on my PC. And here you easily can see that we have now a totally different serial number. So that is an ivisc which is produced in 2018 and has the serial number 2249. And maybe you can remember the other one which is installed in my software or stored in my software was a ivisc from 2015. Maybe that is even one issue what I have to explain. 3 years ago we changed the design of our serial number design, and out of that our actual ivisc will have a different number than this. So we will make a short break now so that we can switch on with the camera so that I can show you the actual serial number on the plate. Okay, so for checking the serial number directly on the iVisc, which we have in front now, we have to turn that you can see the back plate, and on the back you can see a sticker where we have the serial number, which is now S180002249. So, sorry. In this case, we have to enter the first two digits, that is the production year, and the last four, which is the serial number of all produced iVisc in 2018. So, as we have checked the serial number directly on the serial plate on the iVisc, and even if we have seen that on the updater exe, we have to change that now in the iVisc configuration file. And the iVisc configuration file is called iVisc ini inside our iVisc folder. So if I open the iVisc ini configuration file, it will open with the text editor, which is already installed normally on your PC. In the section application, which I have marked now for better understanding, you will find one path which is called iVisc is equal to 830.15.0049. You definitely can see that this one is not the correct serial number of the device we have seen before. So I have to change this one to 18 and to 249. And of course I have to store that setting now. That's why I have to go to data and save. So system is asking me, you want to save that? Yes, I want to do that. It's asking me, you want to replace the old version? Yes, I want to do. And now I get a message which tells me I have not the rights to change this one, and I have to go to my administrator to do that. That is now a little bit special. That is in relation to that I'm using a Windows 10 computer, and on the Windows 10 mostly the so-called user account control is activated. There is a very simple way to check that. If I say OK and close this one and say don't save, there is very simple. If I have a look to the last date of changes in that file, I can see the last change was in the 2nd of December in 2020. Every time when you start the iVisc software, or even another software which has a configuration file, that will change to the date and time where you have started this one. So as you can see that this one is more or less a few months ago, that will not be the actual one. So the trick is now under Windows 7 up to Windows 10, there is the so-called user account control, and the settings are now stored under the logged in Windows user, and that file is hidden. So an easy way to find that is if you go to the command line, and enter %local app data, and again %, press the enter button, you will see that a new screen appears. And what is now shown in my command line, you can see that is my PC, the local drive C. It is now the logged in user, that's my name, Geiger, under app data local. And there we have to scroll down to the folder virtual store. In that virtual store you will even find a folder which is called program files x86. Again a folder iVisc. And there you will find now the actual iVisc ini, and you can see we have the today's date and that is that hidden ini file what we need to change. So we have to go there and change that again to 18 2249, and now let's say save, and you see without any error message we could change the serial number. I can close this one, but now I have to go back to my C drive, programs x86, to the folder ivisc, and from there I can start my software. And you see this button is still red. So why is that? You have to be sure that you have closed all other applications which have connecting to the ivisc. And as you can remember, I have still opened the updater software. So that means the updater is now blocking this USB port where we have connected the ivisc. So I first, of course, have to close this one, and you see the button changed from red to green. So, sorry. In that case, we have a normal working ivisc. We have all settings now that we have the correct serial number inside the correct ini file. If you cannot start the updater or the ivisc software himself, even if you have entered the correct serial number, it seems that there should be more or less a problem with the ivisc himself or with the cable. But that is the first step what you have to do when you want to check an ivisc, or if you install the software on your PC, if you want to visit a customer for a demonstration or things like that. So that is the basic what you have to do to check an ivisc.